Hey there! Today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from ancient Japanese philosophy that, honestly, feels like it was made for our crazy modern lives. It's a way to find happiness, not by holding on tighter, but by learning how to let go.
Let me just ask you this straight up. Do you ever get that tight feeling in your chest when you think about losing the success you've worked so hard for? Your career, your relationships, your status? That quiet little fear that it could all just vanish? Yeah, if you felt that, you are definitely not alone.
I mean, our whole society teaches us to build things that last forever, right? A permanent career, a forever home, this idea of permanent security. But what if, and this is a big what if, that whole chase for forever is actually the very thing causing all our anxiety? Well, this explainer is all about a totally different way.
So here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with that fear of losing everything and introduce the ancient philosophy that tackles it head-on. Then we'll walk through 3 super practical steps: how to embrace change, how to master the present, and how to cherish the moment. And then we'll see how it all comes together. Let's do it.
Okay, so here it is, this beautiful and, let's be honest, kinda intimidating Japanese Buddhist phrase. Shogyō Mujō Jōsha Hissui. But trust me, this isn't about being pessimistic or just giving up. It's actually a powerful key to unlocking a lighter, more focused, and way happier way of living.
So what on earth does it mean? All worldly things are impermanent, and the prosperous must decline. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wow, that sounds depressing. But hang on, because the magic here is realizing this isn't a dark prophecy, it's just a fact. And once you truly accept this fact, you're free from the fear of it.
Let's break it down. The first part is Shogyō Mujō, and it's super simple, really. It just means that everything, and I mean everything, is always changing. Nothing stays the same. Not our jobs, not our health, not even our own feelings. Change is the one true constant in the universe.
And the second part, Jōsha Hissui, just logically follows from that. It means that even the people at the absolute peak, the most successful and prosperous, will eventually, inevitably decline. No empire, no winning streak, no perfect moment lasts forever. It's just the natural cycle of things.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right? Our modern world, especially with social media, gives us this illusion that success should last forever. We see these perfect snapshots and think that's the permanent reality. So when things change for us, when we have a setback, it feels like we failed. But this ancient wisdom flips that completely. It says, hey, success was always temporary. Decline isn't a failure. It's just the next part of the story. It's totally natural.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. But how do we actually use this stuff in our day-to-day lives? That brings us to our first practical step. It's a kind of mental routine to help us stop fighting change and just let it be.
And the core idea here is a total reframe. It's huge. Instead of seeing every little change as a threat to your stability, start to see it as the world's natural breathing. You know, an in and out rhythm that's essential for life itself. It's not an attack on you. It's just the pulse of the universe.
And here are 3 super simple ways you can start practicing this, like today. First, just notice Mujō inside yourself, how your mood and energy level change all day long. Second, when the rules change at work or in a project, instead of getting annoyed, just think, the natural cycle at work. And third, watch your emotions, even the strong ones like joy or anger, as if they're just clouds passing the sky. They come, they stay for a bit, and then they drift on.
And if you want a perfect right-now example of this, look no further than AI adoption in the workplace. It's a massive change, right? The people who embrace it, who adapt, they thrive. The people who resist and cling to the old way, well, they fall behind. That's not a moral judgment. That's just Shogyō Mujō playing out in real time. Adaptability is the ultimate survival tool.
So that takes us right into our second step. And this one is kind of counterintuitive, but awesome. If we know for a fact that everything will end, that every success will fade, how can we use that knowledge to our advantage? We can turn it into a superpower.
The idea is to turn that finitude, the fact that things have an end, into pure concentration power. Think about it. The last day of a vacation, the final minutes of a big game, you are laser focused, right? Why? Because you know it's about to end. We can harness that same energy in our everyday lives.
Here's how you do it. First, stop thinking of the prosperous as some far-off goal. It's what you have right now. Your health, your skills, the people you love. Second, concentrate on being grateful for those things and investing in them fully instead of worrying about losing them.
And third, you can literally design the end for your projects. Give yourself a deadline and watch your focus skyrocket.
Let's bring it back to that AI example for a second because it fits so perfectly here. The evolution of technology is just this relentless cycle. If you cling to what you know now, you'll eventually face Hissui, decline. But if you concentrate your energy on adapting and learning what's next, you have a chance to become the new Jōsha, the new prosperous one. It's a constant test, and the only way to win is to keep moving.
And that leads us to our third and final step. And honestly, this might be the most beautiful part of the whole philosophy. Once you accept change and use endings to focus your energy, the last piece of the puzzle is about where you actually find your joy. Hint, it's not an owning things forever.
Think of all the energy we spend trying to make good things last forever. What if we just stopped and instead poured all of that precious mental energy into appreciating the beauty of this moment, right here, right now, finding the absolute richness in things that are, by their nature, temporary?
Here are 3 little practices to build this habit. First, when you do lose something, consciously shift from feeling regret to feeling gratitude. Just say, thank you for the time that we had. Second, in your relationships, embrace this amazing concept called Ichigo Ichie. It basically means one time, one meeting, treating every single interaction as a unique, once-in-a-lifetime event. And finally, you just have to trust. Trust that change, Mujō, is always guiding you where you need to go.
And here's a really powerful personal way to do this, treating every interaction you have with someone as Ichigo Ichie. It's not about trying to hold on to people, but about giving your full attention and gratitude to the connection you have in that single moment. Seriously, what a beautiful way to live.
All right, we've covered the philosophy, we've gone through the steps, so let's put it all together and see what this life of impermanence really feels like.
So here's the game plan, boiled down to its essence. Step 1. You accept that everything changes, you observe it, and you get comfortable with it. Step 2. You use the fact that things will end to get laser-focused on what matters right now. And step 3, you let go of needing things to last forever and instead find real joy in the beauty of the moment.
You know, at the end of the day, this whole idea isn't about being cold or detached. Not at all. It's actually the opposite. It's saying that because everything changes, because nothing lasts, this very moment that you're in right now is unbelievably precious. So the message is clear. Love the change and live this moment with absolutely everything you've got.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. What's the one mental burden, that one attachment or fear of loss that you could choose to start letting go of starting today? Just think about what that might be, because letting go of that weight might just be the first step to a much lighter, happier life. Thanks for tuning in.